Hello Collective, welcome to the channel. It is August 16th, 2025, and the time is 7:20 a.m. We're going to tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with you this morning. I got 3 cards out on the table right now. We've got the 5 of Cups. Somebody is in disappointment. They have lost something. In the challenge position, we've got the Knight of Swords. They want to defend their actions, their belief system. And in the subconscious, we've got preparations are being made. The first stages of completion. This is an overseas thing. This is worldwide. Whatever is going on here is worldwide. I heard the curator and their friends talking last night about the final judgment. About domestication and about their multiple relationships. Apparently this is not looked upon favorably. In the recent past, we've got the 9 of Wands. Courage and persistence. Intentions, expectations. We've got the Emperor here. Focused. In the near future. The Devil. Emperor is focused on this Devil here. The lens that's being looked through. Temperance. Restoring balance, restoring harmony. And we've got the Strength card peeking out here too. So we've got Temperance is very strong. Earth angels using their subtle powers in the environment. The Moon card. Somebody's afraid. Somebody's stuck in an illusion. Hopes and fears. Teamwork. And the outcome. The 7 of Pentacles. Hard work with sustainable results here. On the bottom of the deck, we've got Charity. So there's lots of generous truth being gifted to the people. There could be new ways of communicating here. New ways of researching, of shining a light on things regarding the judgment that is happening for Divine Feminine, the love of Divine Feminine, the Mother. So people are, these ones who abandoned the Feminine for multiple relationships, they're under judgment here for abusing this love and this loving connection, for causing illusions. About her responsibilities and her ability to handle them. Could be this King of Wands. We've got a happy surprise. There could be some love here, or he's overcoming challenges of something here, and letting go. Somebody's being let go, sacrificed. They're losing everything. And I think those who were dreaming of love, but they weren't really that. The King of Wands is looking at them and letting them go because they're just making a love offer for money. divine masculine is, he's been restricted. He's causing restrictions for those who were attempting to bring a tower to the stars. There's relaxation and renewal happening. Plans for the future. You've got your swords up. There is boundaries here. And this is the completion of this cycle. You're entering into your 9 of Cups here. There are some proposals, or those who were looking to make proposals because they wanted to be part of your wish come true, your luxurious life. They're getting divorced out because the King of Swords knows the truth about these love offers and how they're just money oriented, and he's victorious over this. He's bringing public recognition to it, and they are being disconnected. They're in the double energy. They just want to prostitute themselves for money, pretending that lust is love. They like their multiple love partners. They like to tap into multiple sacral energies and draw power from that. They're not loyal, with a closed loop of power with one divine partner. So they're greedy and they want to tap into everybody. We've got a new beginning here. A new beginning. There is the light shining on the tricksters, on the fraudsters. Yeah, King of Swords knows all about that. And again, he's victorious here, bringing an end to this cycle regarding this stupid little love offer for money. Hey, I love you. Can I tap into your life of luxury? I'll pretend to love you until I get rid of you, right? That kind of mentality. So they're in regret. There's a failure here. The passion project has failed. You've got your swords up. They could be at a crossroads. They don't know what to do. You're avoiding them. You're like, they got to make some hard choices. They're here as a Knight of Swords, defending their beliefs regarding infidelity and, you know, just all around spreading themselves too thin. This could be an enterprise, like it could be happening all over the world. And we've got the Chariot here, moving forward. There's a new direction, a departure, like they got to go. Whoever wasn't loyal to the domestic harmony of family has to go. If that wasn't their focus, you know. God wants families, and he wants them strong, and he wants them light-filled, love-filled. This is a worldwide thing. This is ending all over the world. This devil has been tapping in to the womb space and the energy and the angelic merchandise, the earth angel merchandise, for long enough. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. They keep pulling off of the sacral womb energy as a battery, as a power source, and they've been empowering themselves, tapping into all of these different womb spaces. You're resilient here, you're persistent, you're very courageous with the truth, exposing the truth regarding Mr. Prince Charming, his little passion project. The Emperor is here regarding the lovers. He wants domestic harmony. He wants this family strong. He wants these children taken care of with purposeful, intentional, loving care. We got this devil here who's very toxic. They don't care about that kind of stuff. All they care about is money. They just want to be a wealthy man and walk around like they can tap this and tap that. And some very important people call the feminines a dime a dozen. Just tap into every single dime and just go collect your little dimes and F them, throw them out once you get your dime. Earth angels are very strong here. Whatever, they're very strong against this magician, and they're releasing the burden. They're releasing the burden that these magicians have placed upon their womb, upon their sacral energy. And they're in fear here with the Moon card. They're having anxiety. You were their power source and they got cut off. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. The Most High does not like them tapping into all of these sacred energies that are meant for family, to power up families. So they're afraid because of these plans. They got to leave home. There's decisions to be made. They're not about family. They don't want to pour into the health and well-being of a family. They just want to extract. So there's a whole team here. Building something based on truth, or it could be that there is the truth known about this team. There's clear boundaries regarding the power of 3 that have been collaborating against the Earth Angels. 7 of Pentacles here. Perseverance, sustainable results for the Star. The Rejuvenator. This battery that these ones have been tapping into. That's how the devil energy looks at the Star. They look at them as a supercharger. They charge up their life. They empower their magic, their forbidden magic. They use the energy of these earth angelic stars to power their devil forbidden magic. And then they blame the Star for it, because they've used their energetic signature to do it. This is seen very clearly. You're coming into your abundance, your life of luxury, because you're not a stingy little shit. You are all about pouring into the community and to the families that that community supports. You're all about the strength and harmony of yourself, of your family, of your community, and you give generously to it with your Star energy. But you've had this devil here sucking it off of you and leaving you without it. So now this is being laid to rest. They're getting cut out of your energy. This is it. They will no longer tap into these sacred wombs and use other people's energetic signatures to power up their forbidden magic. Very swiftly, you're going to get your wish come true. And there will be a celebration here, because justice is being served on those who are bringing conflict to those earth angelic Star under the pretense of love, but then they would just extract their happiness, their merchandise, their earth angel merchandise, their spiritual inheritance, and their light, and then they would leave in that devil energy. Ha 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 ha! I'm a King of Pentacles. Ha ha ha! Yeah, justice is being served on that. They're going to get the law of cause and effect. The devil wants to be king of all the money, all the wealth, all of the merchandise belonging to the earth angels, which is the sacred, sacral energy of a Star. They've been using that to power up their forbidden magic and become wealthy with it. All they had to do was feed a black hole soul, you. Earth angel. All they had to do was betray you. You know, they come in and they use that wand as a weapon to tap in, extract, and to punish. So now they're in regret. They have failed. You got your swords up. Things are very difficult for them. They got some decisions that they need to make because you're done with this, and they could be at a crossroads. They don't know what to do. They're in grief. Why would they be in grief? Oh, they're in grief because they lost their free fest of womb space that they could just go tap into. There's a change here. They're rushing forward, trying to defend their beliefs. They're trying to think fast because this is spreading throughout the land. Your victory here. They're going away. They gotta make a journey. They gotta get out of here. Because they're not about domestic harmony. They're not about the health and well-being of family. They're not about the community of families. Forgiveness. You've got a victory here. They want your forgiveness. There's no forgiving. This is a one-track devil mindset, and they don't have capacity to be more than this. They've been practicing for centuries. It's so severely embedded in their mind, in their genetics, in their way of being. There's a chasm between family and this devil's way to get wealthy. Relationships that serve the higher good are coming together in divine order. They're gaining their freedom from this envy. So this is an enterprise. It's worldwide. It's spreading around. This death, the end of this cycle, is coming to an end because we have grown in consciousness and awareness. We know what has been going on in this space. You're in your 9 of Wands energy. You've got your boundaries up. You're very resilient. You know the truth about this passion project. This devil's passion project for pay. They're nothing more than secret prostitutes speaking proper words of love. Prostitutes and thieves speaking proper words of love right before they unalive you and blame you for their shit. They have to accept responsibility for their own stuff now. The Emperor is here regarding loving unions, the strength of 2 together, which persevere through all of these challenges, all of these lust boys and lust girls. The strength of 2 with a closed loop of power overcome this devil, which is the way it's supposed to be. And now they're in regret because there's death here. It's like, you got to get the F out. No more tapping in to the sacred essence of family for profit, you little hoe bag. We know exactly what we're doing. We're releasing all of that negative energy and restoring peace, making room for love. The devil is here, thought it was a great thing. They're codependent on this womb space. They want to tap in, be the little prostitute, tap in, make an extraction, and then destroy whoever the source was, you know, feed them to their little black hole soul that they're loyal to. They want this money. They want to be a king. They want to be a wealthy king. And they're all upset about your courage. You face the fear with confidence, and they're not very happy. You're an earth angel here, a temperance angel. You're very strong. Again, very strong. You're laying down the burden that these magicians have placed upon you with their forbidden magic. They're afraid here about this reconciliation, about the truth. Everybody all over the world knows the truth. They got to leave home. They got to leave because of the truth. They're in grief. They're losing their home here because they have brutalized the source of happiness. Power of 3. Queen of Swords has got these clear boundaries up. She knows guilt. She's very cold when it comes to revealing the truth about this guilt. It's trustworthy. She's connected to Source Divine. 7 of Pentacles here. Perseverance. Perseverance for the Star. They made an investment in their own light, in their own life, and they have rejuvenated, and they're sitting here with a whole lot of happiness, ready to heal the mind and the abundance, the limitless abundance. So they're here using their mind, their power of their mind, with happiness, generating limitless abundance here. The adversity needs to surrender. Their need to control the love of the Earth Angel Star. They got to let it go. This is not their personal bank account. They don't own the wombs of the realm. They just don't. This isn't their personal source of freaking pentacles. You know, they left them alone. They would not give them a family, a husband, a wife, children, stability. They left them alone. They drained it all out of them. And now they're in grief because you trust the inner divine in you, and you are happy and you're successful, knowing there's no greater goal than to love. You are balanced. You bring a sense of perfect harmony to your life and to those that you share it with. These ones are being denied. They're in denial. They have failed. You know what you're here to do. You're very disciplined with your gifts, which have led you to perseverance. These ones are in regret. This is over. It's absolutely over. And it could wind up in death. They need to accept the things they cannot change. You're very empathic. You care about people. You care about the vessel that enshrines your soul. These ones you're here in service to the people. You're not their servant. You're not their slave. This isn't merchandise that they can just come up and draw out anytime they want to. You're not their personal bank account of freaking energy. You're not to be harvested. You're not a freaking plant that they can just pluck out of the earth and then eat the fruit of and toss to the side so you can wither. You're here to build something beautiful, and these ones just wanted the glory. And now they're worried. They're full of doubt. Because you have friends that support relationships that serve the higher good. You're very patient. You trust in the divine timing, and you've got your freedom here. These envious people, they envy your gratitude. They envy your ability to be grateful and thankful. They're under judgment and they're in fear because their pride just led them wrong. Down the path of incoherence. They took everybody. They decided to confuse everybody and everything so that they could just draw out this energy. This priest, married people for profit. It was a scam. It was a scheme. It was a game. They have done their best to destroy the reputation of the Supreme Father, of the actual divine fathers. These ones did their best to destroy that reputation and that connection with the woman and the child. They used that phallus as a weapon of mass destruction. They used it to harm, to hurt, to terrorize. And the life that they created, they didn't even care about. They were not even responsible enough to buy diapers for the children that they were creating. Yet they want to go into the spiritual court and say that the earth angelic star lacks responsibility. Hypocrite, projectionist, magician. Brown hat. Spirit wanted me to clarify that, to set the record straight. These are brown hats, those who use forbidden magic. And they use it against magical as well as non-magical people so that they can appear as though they are kings and queens of pentacles. They're in regret here. You got your swords up. They don't know what to do. They're at a crossroads. They got some decisions to make. There's a change. You've got inner peace. Inner peace is coming. We're changing. It's like no more of this freaking sloppy sex, sloppy seconds, sloppy this, sloppy that. And then they go out and they be sloppy with themselves. And then they tell everybody that they've made a connection to that they're sloppy. They're thinking fast. Oh my God, I got to defend my beliefs, you know, because this is an enterprise. It's around the world. There's a lot of preparations being made and we're moving forward into it. With the Chariot here, it's moving swiftly. This is a victory for the Emperor and his idea of family, domestic harmony. These ones want forgiveness. They're not going to get a reward. They're not lucky here. They did not gain a reward. And now they're like, oh crap, because again, we've got the Three of Wands. This is the first stages of completion. And then you've got death, which is the completion. It's the end of this cycle. You have grown in consciousness and awareness. You know what they've been doing. This is all out in the open. They're being judged. This is the final judgment. The final judgment is being called right now on indulgence. On their growing indulgence. They were indulging on the consciousness and the awareness and the growth of people. One thing that I heard after rising this morning was destiny swapping. These people were destiny swapping with earth angels, claiming that they were the ones who grew, and then indulging in their energy and their light while they flipped them and copycatted them. There's death here. So whoever is a copycat out there dressing up in somebody else's energy and mental body, they're probably going to pass away soon. Or they're just going to lose everything. You've got the Nine of Wands here. Your boundaries are up. You know the truth about this passion project, and their downloading of their karmic debt, of their filthy sexual deviancy into the earth angelic star. A whole freaking network of these F-boys and girls. You've lived through it. You did not perish. You're here presenting testimony, irrefutable evidence and truth about what they did to you over the centuries and what you have witnessed them do to others. The Emperor is here regarding the lovers, the strength of two together. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's releasing this negative energy and he's restoring peace. He's making room for love, true love. That's where the power is. This closed loop of power, of eternal love. Eternal love. This is what's coming. He's removing the riffraff right now. The devil is here using their codependent, toxic ways to become kings of pentacles. Pride. Temperance angel is in their strength energy. They took this challenge and they succeeded. Here we've got they're releasing the crap that this magician has placed on them, and there's mercy here for the temperance angel star. They're releasing that 10 of Wands burden. They no longer have to carry it because it's seen very clearly that they were being stolen from, and their sacred energy was being used on this brown hat forbidden magic, and they were stealing from these people while deceitfully blaming them for these crimes and then convicting them. So that and they kept them in this loop of entrapment in that way. They were playing the over and back rule, the half court rule. They were playing the dark. They were doing this stuff in the forbidden way, in the shadows, and then they were laying that on the earth angels, and then they were going back into the light, talking to God, saying, please protect me. I've got this evil person trying to hurt me. And it was just because whatever they were doing to the earth angel was being transmuted, because they're the star. That's what they do. They're an alchemist, a natural energizing alchemist. They process this dense energy, and that's why these devils kept putting the death energy onto them. They were constantly walking around in the energy of death, feeling sick, feeling sad, feeling low, having to transmute this dark energy. They're a magnificent and sensitive, empathic transmitter receiver of the divine, and these ones were forcing that shit into there. That's the truth. So they're in fear here because your goals have been attained. You're making plans. There's reconciliation. The honest truth is out here. You're not in danger. They can't bring you any more danger. You're not at risk. You're telling the truth, and they're afraid. They're like, shoot, man, you were supposed to carry the blame again. But the truth is out. There's this teamwork. There could be a teamwork here, a team working together, setting clear boundaries regarding those who are guilty of this type of a thing. That's good news. We've got a miracle here. You've been working very hard. You persevered. You're the star. You're the natural revitalizer. You're a supercharger. You're a limitless, abundant being who can manifest whatever you want in your mind. And you do so with humor, with happiness. And these ones were dumping all of their negativity, all of their foul behaviors onto you with this technique that they have mastered. You're a sweetheart, and you're coming into your family. You're getting it. You're getting that domestic harmony. Why? Because you're the gift, and you are loyal to your partner, to God, to Spirit Divine, to the proliferation. See, Spirit births into this realm. And they want a decent place to live, man. They don't want to jump into this lustful devil freaking nastiness. They want a decent foundation to bring their life and their children to work with, to manifest good things. You're a sweetheart. This is over, man. You know, these people, they say, you know, they work with some of the, look, you've triumphed. By collaborating together, the sweethearts who have made a vow with each other and with Spirit Divine, the Holy Spirit, you persevere through these challenges. You are the gift, and you are the gift that belongs in this world. Not these little F-boys and F-girls that are looking for a, you know, to sell their sex for profit. To not only use their sex as a weapon, but then to steal the intimate energy out of an earth angel star for profit, for gain, while brutalizing their heart, their soul, and their potential for a beautiful light-filled family. They're protesting because they're being rejected. They're getting withdrawals. They're addicted to your energy. If there's any addict in this world, and they have accused many people of being addicts, they are addicted to the energy and the merchandise that they have been pilfering for centuries. They're the addict. They're the ones projecting this nastiness onto the stars and the earth angels. There's evidence of them messing with the minds of the earth angels, their intellectual property, their energy. The good moral human that is a blessing to this world. You're okay, you're stable, and because you are, these ones are overwhelmed, overloaded, they're getting cast away, they do not get to draw off you anymore. The Most High God stated this is the end of their relationship with batteries. This is over. They can't have it. They're going to be sick and they're going to be alone because they do not have anything. They are completely in a Five of Pentacles energy without sucking the life out of somebody else. These robbers are being dominated. It is their turn to do as they are told. It is their turn to walk the path that the Most High God says they deserve. And, you know, from what they have been doing to the earth angels and these children of light, these luminaries, they're having everything taken away from them. They missed the boat. They're not part of the schedule. They're being removed from the schedule. They failed. You're getting your sweet dreams that these mask wearers were fantasizing about and causing an illusion with. In the history, with their conflict and their bullying, they were ruthless. Smiling in your face the whole time. They're afraid because you are a high value person. Absolutely necessary. You've got limitless potential. Heaven lives in you. And they don't want to hear it, man. Justice is being served on these third wheel enemies. They're stubborn. They don't want to hear it. They're having mental issues right now. They're in danger. They could be having some accidents. You took the advice that was embedded in your soul and you grew your inner garden. Through all of the darkness that they were putting you into, you were sprouting seeds. And when that light hit your garden, it was like everything took off. Woo! And you became this beautiful star. These ones who took bribes to hurt you, they were paid. They were paid prostitutes looking for a quick fix to their little dilemma, you know, their little bridge to becoming wealthy. And they fell into a trap of deviancy, of low vibrational crap, and now they've lost everything. They are losing everything. Your alliances are here strategizing on the behalf of family, and you've lived and you've learned, you know a lot. You know exactly what these ones have been doing, and it's being countered right now and removed. They could not stop your profession. They could not stop your ability to grow, to manifest, and to develop new skills. Your future. They could not bring an end to it. You are committed to this marriage. You are committed to family. They could not tear you away from it. Their fate, their destiny has been stopped, and perhaps their ability to steal and swap destinies has been stopped. You can relax here. These ones want to compromise. They're blind. They can no longer spy on the minds of earth angel stars and find out who their next target is. It's over for them. You get a new family tree, and they get confinement. This promise is worth saving. You're moving in together. You're united in this energetic, eternal love connection. You will teach people, most likely, even if it's just by being present and exuding what it is to be love, to be loyal, to honor your promises, to grow something together that is worthwhile. These ones are now, all those mental disturbances they were putting on you are back on them, and they're sick. They're sick. They're sick in the head. They've got disease, and now they've got mental issues. All of this heavy burden for all of these various people throughout the centuries that had tapped in and claimed their right to be there. It's all back on them now. Because you've reached your goals. You've reached your goals, and they're being separated out of the gain that belongs to family. The health and well-being, the merchandise, the fruits of your labor, it all goes to family. You've reached your goal. These ones have to get ready. They're furious about this. All that magic, it's like coming back on them. There's preparations for this magic. Whatever's happening, it's like it's the final judgment. All this magic that they did, they're under judgment. The final judgment. They prayed to curse you with a nightmare. They've been doing it for centuries. They're under judgment, the final judgment for this really atrocious behavior to non-magical beings. This Earth Angel star, they don't do magic. They are magic. They are the transmitter receiver of the Most High Divine, and God moves through them into the world. They are magic. They don't have to do a damn thing except receive and send. And these devils have been pushing in negativity into the heaven through the transmitter receivers. They've been creating discord in the mental field, the collective awareness of the divine, by pushing with their cyberware and their other technology and this forbidden magic, this stuff through the transmitter receiver, pushing it into the divine. And now the divine is pushing back. The truth is known about their technology, about their practices, about their habitual patterns, how they have done it. Everything is seen. All of the people that have participated in this have been witnessed. And not just once or twice, but over centuries. They can't get out of it. It's a habitual pattern that had an obvious, there was no intention to ever alter this pattern. They were really satisfied with it. They're sick. They're surprised, and they're sick. You pulled up this hidden thing out of the waters. It could be the waters of the temple hold the frequencies and the memory. You know how water holds memory, right? So it's like the waters hold the memory of everything that has occurred here, all the sickness, All of the ill intent are in the waters. This energy that they've been forcing into the body, not just the mind, but there's energetic disturbances stored in the waters. That's why it's so important to drink water. You got to flush those waters out because they're being programmed by this nastiness. They're being programmed with this sickness. So they're rushing forward. They want to defend their beliefs. They're like, oh no, I got to think fast, man, because there's a moving forward. This is moving forward and it's victory. It's an enterprise. It's like all over the world. This nasty passion project, devil, codependent crap is all over the world. And you've got a victory here. They did not get the abundance. They did not get the wealth. They want forgiveness. They're hoping for forgiveness. They're not lucky. It is an enterprise. You've got the Three of Wands out here twice, but there's death. This is the end of these ones swapping destinies with people who have grown in consciousness and awareness and earned a reward. These actual earth angelic stars. This is the end of these indulgent people getting a free ride on the death of others who actually earned the reward, who actually became what was necessary in order to be the reward. They harvested the reward by punishing the survivor. And they feel real happy about it. Lover. They go into the mind, find somebody who has this reward coming to them, and then they would go in, tap in, get a relationship, maybe even have a child to solidify that bind, and then they would extract the wealth out of it. They were using their appendages and their black hole to suck them in. You're being very resilient here with the truth about this passion project, this whole network that has been using their wands and their black holes to suck in earth angel stars and then pile their blame for their karmic debt onto them while extracting out the light and the other stuff. A thief. A network of thieves using their sexual nature and proper words of love to trap earth angel stars. It's worldwide. It's not localized. So the Emperor is here regarding the lovers, regarding eternal love. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's releasing this negative energy and he's making room for peace and love. He's restoring it. He's here in service to love. He's no servant. He believes in love, so he is of service to it. So this devil codependency, they did this kind of thing in order to become a King of Pentacles. Very prideful. They would tap into the room of others and see what they had going on, and then they would come in and extract it. They would use their appendage, their phallus, as a weapon of war. Proper words of love followed by destruction of a life. They were very proud. They really enjoyed destroying the strong, steady ones. That's a narcissistic trait. They go after the successful ones that are very confident, and then they really enjoy breaking that down and destroying it. That's what they consider success. if they can take a very prominent, successful, loving, respected person and tear them down into South Node addictions. You see it everywhere. The Lord is here. They're waiting on the Lord. The Lord is calling final judgment right now. You're a temperance angel. You're very strong in the face of this magician. You're releasing the burden that that magician has placed upon you, this forbidden magic. This is a soldier who has been fighting with you, and perhaps you have been fighting back. You're being shown mercy by the divine. They're in fear here because we've got the Two of Wands. They're leaving home. They got to get out. They're losing their home because the truth is out. They can no longer bring risk to you, to the honest goodness, true blue. This is over. There's death here. They can no longer bring risk to you. They can no longer end your life for money. All they had to do was go prostitute themselves. And it was so fun for them. Back before they stopped my this harvesting that they were doing to me, I'd be woken up in the middle of the night by youngers, masculines. Pleasure, 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 as they drew the energy out of my sacral. All I could do was sit there. I didn't know how to protect myself. All I could do is sit there and let it happen and cry as these youngers were extracting my essence by force. And you wonder why I have an attitude sometimes. Pleasure. It's like that Mickey Mouse cartoon where he's making Swiss cheese and they're just out there freaking poking everything with that phallus and they think it's the way to do it, and it's disgusting. They go into the sleeping chamber of a human being. While they're sleeping, they astral project there and they extract their essence and fuel their forbidden magic with it. So you got a team here working real hard, setting clear boundaries regarding those who are guilty. This is good news. The guilty are not getting the money. And they're not getting a wedding. They're not going to participate in any weddings. They will not gain that contract. No more false contracts. No more false contracts in the house. You've been working very diligently. You have persevered and you're coming into your reward. You're the star. You're this magnificent rejuvenator. Everything you touch turns to gold. It's like all you have to do is be present, and the light that comes off of you is like the sun. You pour life into the world just by being here. Your balance, your harmony, your sweetheart self, the smile that you silently wear on your face as you admire Mother Nature or whatever it is. You're lighthearted. You look at the lighter side of life. Your mind is great. You're an abundant, limitless being. You can manifest whatever you want to. And these ones have been tapping in and messing with your mind so hard. You're a sweetheart. You're a gift. You honor your vows. You persevered with a team here and you triumph over this. A team of angels. A team of stars. And you triumph over those who are not innocent. You're not a child anymore. You're not a child anymore. You are consistent. You are consistently love in your core. There's a message here. It could be that the merchant is got a message. You've earned your wings. They can't trap you. They can't keep you. You've got happiness here, and you've got a fortune coming your way. This old woman is haughty. She's very upset regarding the gift. This house, it's yours. These pleasure seeker foes who have been pretending to be friends, they're sick. They're sick. They're sad. They're suffering melancholy. So that's a foe needing consolation, a pleasure seeker. They're so upset that you are the gift and you're getting the house. The house belongs to you. The house is this garden, this realm. The Emperor wants domestic harmony, a safe place for women and children, where men come together to protect the foundation so that there's no raping of the babies or whatever. You know, these people have been brutalizing innocents for a long time, and they've been getting such pleasure out of it. They've been faking to be your friend. This is a false friend. They're sick. They got to go to the doctor. They found something out. We've got reunion here, and there's a servant enemy that is sighing. A young woman is a widower. Maybe she's going to lose her spouse. People are talking, and they're very happy about what's going on here. Somebody's getting the message, and they're in despair because this sweetheart is making a journey. She has arrived. And they're going to prison. They're in a mental prison over the happiness that the Lord is bringing, restoring, making available. There's a scholar that is waiting. They can't stop thinking about your faithfulness. You were loyal. And we've got misfortune, wife, priest. Whoever this wife is, she could have been married to a priest who effed her over hard for centuries. They could be they brought this person a lot of misfortune, and it could be that they're in a lot of misfortune now over the wife. Perhaps maybe the priest wasn't even the wife. Maybe the priest was supposed to be protecting this wife for the Lord upon his return, and the priest really effed her over. I don't know. This priest is in trouble, man. They turned everything into a F fest. And they piled it onto this woman, to the divine feminine. They called her a whore. They called her a prostitute. They called her incapable. They called her irresponsible. They called her addicted. They called her a peasant. They called her unworthy of this magnificent energy and gift that she is as a limitless creatress waiting for the Lord. With this forbidden magic, they piled death energy, orgy energy, and falsehood. Every time she was loving, they would come in and destroy it and shatter, shatter, shatter. And they would blame her as incapable of holding it together. All the while, they're out there creating babies that they don't give a crap about. A child is simply another avenue to gain pentacles for these ones. Spiritual inheritance, divine accounts. Whoever these priests are, or this priest, they're in big trouble, man. It's like they made a church in the name of the Lord, but they used it to prostitute the mothers and the children. In the name of the Lord. The golden nugget, whoever you are. Divine Mother stated they lost their wish come true when they came for you. That golden nugget they put in their little jar. They didn't realize that you were their undoing. They just saw you as another star, another energy source, another prize. But there's a change here because you had the ability to remain calm. You had the ability to reflect and to bring a perfect sense of balance to your world. You survived things that many people gave up on, and they took themselves out because it was just too much. Or they caved and actually gave away their soul, thinking that it was going to end the pain, but it only grew. Got them more deep into the trap. Somebody wants to defend their beliefs. We are moving forward. This is an expansion. Everybody around the world, whoever these passion project devils are, they're trying to defend their beliefs. You've got a victory here. They were warned. They were warned. They knew what was going to happen if you persevered. They knew it. Now they have hope for forgiveness. They were not able to tap in and gain that reward from this particular one. This little golden nugget. It's another expansion here with death. This is all over. This is all over. This is happening throughout the entire world. There is a final judgment being called on this scenario. The Lord or God wants domestic harmony, safety for the children. He said, you can be great men if you can show love in the eyes of the missing children. And they can't. When these children look at them, they are in fear. Memory. So they were indulging in the growth of others as lovers in the past. They were tapping into their lovers and extracting all the goodness with this forbidden magic. There's like transference of sin. It starts with a K. I can't remember the word, but there's like this transference of sin crap. I think it's forbidden. It's not supposed to. This is not okay. This is the devil shit. So your boundaries are up. You know the truth about this passion project. This whole network of people that were blaming the earth angel stars while stealing from them their gifts. Forbidden magic. They were stealing intellectual property from these ones. The Emperor is here in service to eternal love and lovers. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's removing this negative energy, making room for love and peace. He wants domestic harmony. He wants safety for the children. He wants these husbands and wives this unit of love, he wants them to be able to love each other without interference. And these ones have been using forbidden magic to drive people into domestic violence. He's been using it to drive people into the desire for a Jezebel or a gigolo, a succubus or an incubus. They get them in the dream state, and then they send them in the flesh state, and then they drive them into it to separate, destabilize, and destroy the foundation for their children. And these ones, they go around slandering the single moms as though they're incapable of keeping a man, you know? This is wrong with them. That is wrong with them. If they really cared, they'd be this or that. And they slander them so hard while leaving them to tend these children with limited supplies and no support. And they brutalize them with their words and their energies. They don't support them in the slightest. While the masculine goes out and creates more children that he will not buy diapers for. I mean, I'm not saying this is everything, but I know there's some fathers out there that have children with women that actually bail on them. They leave. They're like, I don't want this, and they go. And the father has to put up with this, has to use, it's just a crazy thing that's driven by the actors and the actresses pretending that they are loved. They start out by speaking the proper words, but it's all false. There's no more marriages to these thieves. They're not going to tap into people like that anymore. They, tap in, have a child, and then extract out from the other parent and the child as they bail. They're like, yeah, now I got two sources of spiritual inheritance, right? It's just bad. They left people in isolation while they created this mischief. And it could be that the emperor is here isolating people who were bringing mischief. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's removing the negative energy, making room for love and peace, so that these loving unions can be strong without the interference that's being shoved into their transmitter receiver divine. This soap opera that technology, cyberware and such, and this forbidden magic wants to run through the processor of the bioform. This is the life you're going to live. You're going to live this soap opera over and over and over and over and over again. They got to leave eternal love alone. Those who are bringing mischief, they're going to be isolated. It's like they got to go away. And it could be that they're not even going to be able to hang out together. They're going to be isolated. They're going to lose everything. Everything. I don't think they're even going to be able to struggle together, because I don't think they're going to have any support. Like they did not give you any support. Everything is going to be stripped for them, I think. Yeah, displaced. The devil here, codependent on you in order to become a king of pentacles. You were very courageous in the face of these prideful people while they were screwing around with your mental body, and now they're being displaced. They're being removed. They got to get out. They got to get out of the mental body. They got to get out of the house. You're an earth angel. This is your home. You're very strong. You have defended it. You've got this magician using forbidden magic on you to create war with you. And you had to carry a freaking load. But now you get to release it. You're being shown mercy by the divine. They've been exposed for dominating your gifts, your mind, your life. They've been driving you into failure. They've been driving people into addiction. They've been driving people into this whatever soap opera they decided they wanted to play out for this particular lifetime story. They've been driving soap operas into the transmitter receivers of the divine, and then they've been falsely accusing them, deceitfully accusing them of being that. And it's just not true. It's a distraction from your true purpose. Consciousness, a war over consciousness. Unfortunately, we got most people out there, the human beings, are unaware. They're non-magical beings. They're unaware that this has been happening, and they've been victims to this unseen force that has been purposefully moving on them, controlling their lives and their happiness. If they got too happy, they would bring something in or cause an event that would destroy it. This was their job, and they got paid for it. They had access to the mind. Oh, they're too happy. We better go give somebody an accident. We better go unalive their pet. We better go do something to crush their heart. They're in fear because you know exactly what's going on here, and there are plans being made, decisions are being made, because the honest to goodness truth is here. They can no longer bring you any more risk. There's death. This is over. They were using magic. Now, look, this is over. This is the end of them pulling up your seeds. This is the end of them interfering in your purpose. This is the end of them directing your life with these stupid soap operas that have been interfering in your happiness and your desire. I mean, I wanted to play piano, but could I play piano? No. $5 a week was the cost of a piano lesson, and I was not able to have that as a child. And there's things like that, you know, things that could have dramatically changed your life and made you famous. I mean, I sing, so I could have been one of them women that were up there on stage playing piano and singing, but they did not give me that opportunity. They took it. Even though it was right there available, I was not permitted. There were some other things in life that could have really changed the trajectory of my life into a really positive, profitable way, but I was not permitted to have it because of these ones. I blame them for everything. Their negative influences, these devilish negative influences that they've been forcing into the transmitter receiver, the mind of the divine connected to source, pushing this shit in with their forbidden magic and their cyberware technology, their Wi-Fi, Microsoft, freaking wireless, subliminal messaging crap. So you got a team here. There is a collaboration, building something. What you're building are clear boundaries. You know the absolute truth to these people. They have been guilty of using proper words to gain a marriage connection, and then just sucking the money and the wealth and the health and the vitality out of it. And they were using this forbidden magic to transfer their sin, to transfer their own illness and sickness onto this person and take them out. It was false. And there's a miracle here. They're seen for what they are. They're a very negative influence in this world. They're not about domestic harmony or growing or partnering with somebody else and then building a legacy, a family tree that will be strong for generations. They're not about that. They wanted the money, they wanted the happiness, they wanted what you worked for, and they wanted to siphon it off of you. Because the only thing they have that's valuable is their pride, and pride doesn't get you shit. It doesn't get you anything. It doesn't earn anything. It doesn't produce anything of value. there is a healthy sense of pride that when you try and fail, and all of a sudden you gain a success, it's like, yes, that's a healthy pride. But not like this. You have worked very hard. You have persevered through all of these challenges that these ones have placed against you. You have risen. You have shined. You're a damn sweetheart. You focus on the lighter side of life. You bring happiness wherever you go. Your imagination is abundant and limitless. You can create whatever you set your mind to. You're a fantastic person. You're no longer a child. You're no longer naive. You know exactly what these ones have been doing. You're a sweetheart, you're a gift, and you honor your vows. You're loyal. You're loyal to your partner, your family, and spirit. You're loyal to the Most High God or Goddess, whatever it is that guides you. You persevered through these challenges, and now you're working together as this team here, and you triumph. You triumph. You've exposed this domination that has been occurring via distraction and false words of love, false words of care. You are balanced, you are harmonized inwardly in your own right, and when you are together here in those that you have formed a bond with, this network, this family, you bring a sense of perfect balance. You've done the work. You are not chaos. Although you have learned how to be harmonious in the eye of the storm of chaos, you have grown to be comfortable in chaos. Quite the feat. Quite the feat. Being buried in misfortune and freaking the fires of misfortune. Staying balanced, breathing into it, picking up the pieces and rebuilding over and over and over again. Calmly. Nature and growth. You're connected to nature. You're connected to the elements. You use the element of air, of fire, of earth, of water. You're very much in tune with the living element of the world that supports life in you. One with the all that is. Those that were curious about you, trying to get into your mind, tap into your mind to cause trickery, you have freedom from them. You are free from this astral projecting, remote viewing trickster, creating havoc in your life. You're going to come into a whole bunch of luck. It's like the fish are going to be raining from the sky. Self-interest, you are protected from those self-interested people who just want to munch on you, snack on you, parasite off of your successes. Whatever these ghosts do to you is rolling right off of you. They cannot have any effect on you. You're powerfully protected by the Most High. Those who were mimicking you on a routine are making preparations. The divine stated they were the new fodder. They've been feeding on you, on your light and your merchandise for centuries. And the divine stated that these ones are the new fodder. Now, I don't know what they have to offer, but they were communicating illusions, feeding on fear. Maybe they are in fear. They were communicating as you. They were using mirror magic, trying to destroy your reputation with God. from a distance. But they were seen. Everything that was seen, it's all seen. And now they're getting wrath for fighting with innocence, for flipping the children, for brutalizing the weak, the needy, those who were in most need of care. They're going to get wrath. It's the final judgment. Right out of the words of the curator himself, the final judgment is occurring now. There's a commitment that this community will be able to play together, to build together, to create together, without fear of a false person in here to destroy it. You're going to be able to work as a team in your sacred space and build something that will benefit the children and generations to come. You have a purpose. Now, rather than just out here trying to survive, you know, one husband after the other, or one promise after the other that always ends up in some sort of failure or heart-shattering or soul-shattering freaking trauma, you're going to be able to work together as a team in this sacred space. And these ones are all in upheaval. They're in upheaval and grief because it's going to be protected, and you are protected. They're getting wrath. It's the final judgment. It's over them because you are the abundant freaking anomaly that was here to lead by example, just by shining brightly. You don't have to say anything, do anything, be known by anybody. Just walk along and be freaking happy, and it lifts everything up. You don't have to really say anything or even be known. But it lifts everything up in a new direction. And then those of the night are going to be released because you are soaring, you are rising, you are an ascendant. Out of the mouth of the curator themselves, they've been targeting earth angel stars, the ascended ones. Why? Because they are descendants. Scavengers are at risk. They are resistant because they anticipate a need for survival. They're worried about survival. They're anticipating your survival. Love, true, strong heart bonds within the territory. There is the survival of love and true, strong heart bonds. Love wins. Love wins. And this fiasco is on its way out with the final judgment here. You're no longer a child. You're innocent. You know exactly what these people have been doing. And you have told Heavenly Father, Mother, and they are here on behalf of their babies. And I don't know if that you consider that an insult, but the divine looks at you as a child, but you're no longer innocent. You have brought every foul atrocity that has been occurring here home so that they can manage it. And they are. You can be certain of it. That's the message that I have for you. I hope that this brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.